Hi, I'm Steve Adubato. We're coming to you from East May Media Studios in Little Falls, New Jersey. It is March 20th. As we tape this program, you don't need me to tell you that things are unpredictable. We're not sure where they are going. It's a challenging time for everyone, but the programs you're about to see are issue-oriented, policy-oriented. They impact your life. They're just as important as ever before. And so without further ado, a very special remote edition of State of Affairs. We are, in fact, here in beautiful Paterson, New Jersey at the Father English Food Pantry, talking to two leaders who are fighting the fight every day against diabetes, diabetes prevention they're very much involved in, and some larger efforts as well. First, let me introduce to my left Carlos Roldan, who is director of the Father English Food Pantry, and Carlos Rodriguez has been with us many times talking about food insecurity, food-related issues, hunger. He is president and CEO of the Community FoodBank of New Jersey. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Actually, we're in your place, right? So do this for us.
Yes.
What is this place and why does it matter so much?
This is the Catholic Charities Father English Food Pantry, and as I mentioned before, we have 3 locations. This is the main one, this is the biggest one. Here alone, we feed over 5,000 people every single month. We give out more than 400 bags of food every single day, Monday through Friday. This place is important because people should not go hungry. And it is important because here we are to provide assistance to all those families in need. I have to say that 80% of the families that actually come here actually work, making still $11 an hour, $12 an hour, working crazy hours, working 80 hours a week, 100 hours a week, just to cover rent. Rent alone is $1,500, $1,600. So food is very expensive. So they really do not make enough money they have to choose between buying food or paying rent, buying food or paying electricity. And of course, food, that's the less worry because they know they can come here to get whatever they need and whatever we have for them.
As you listen to your colleague, Carlos Roldan, what is the connection between both organizations and how are you specifically involved in a diabetes prevention program? What is it and why does it matter so much?
Well, Father English, first of all, is one of our longest partners. As we reflect on 45 years of service, Father English Food Pantry has been there from the very beginning. And in fact, this is one of the largest, probably the 3rd largest distribution partnership that we have across our 16-county operation. But it's more than the distribution. It's about, as we provide food, what else can we do? We know, for example, that hunger is a health issue. So with food, can we have a transformative impact on the life of the 5,000 families that are served here? The answer is yes. The answer is yes, especially when you think of a prevalent problem among low-income families, like diabetes.
How prevalent is it?
The problem is in double digits in many low-income communities. This is true across the entire state. And one of the things that we've been piloting with a diabetes initiative with 9 programs like Father English and Summit Medical Group is, well, can we have an impact? Can we bundle the food in a way that makes sense for a diabetic or pre-diabetic family?
For example, you say bundle the food to help prevent or to deal with someone with diabetes, prevent diabetes or deal with someone. What does that mean?
That means giving them food that we know, and the doctors tell us, and the nutritionists tell us, will have a positive impact on their ability to control their diabetes or even reduce their diabetes. And with our health partners, we can measure AC1s.
What does that mean?
The blood sugar level that families members have or participants in this program have. And then at the end of this 3-year experiment that we're running, we can say, well, what worked, how did it work, and how do we replicate this across the entire state?
This is a pilot program.
This is a pilot program that's being evaluated by a third-party evaluator to make sure that we can get the 3 components that are critical: the food, the education, and the extra screenings for, in this case, diabetes. And can we deliver it in a way that's going to have an impact on the problem?
You know, it's one thing to administer a program. It's one thing to be involved in the management or operation of it. But Carlos Roldan, it's interesting. We're going to take a shot of you. You happen to be in a poster that's right over my shoulder. I can see it over here. This was you at a different point in time, and now people are seeing you on camera now. What they're seeing is Carlos Roldan, the director here at the Father English Food Pantry, at 234 pounds, and now you don't look like you're that.
No, I actually went to 178.
How? And that has something to do with diabetes prevention.
Yes, when they came to me asking me about having this program, the diabetes program here in the food pantry, I said,
Community
sure.
FoodBank came
Yeah, the
here.
Community FoodBank.
Right.
coming here, I said, sure, anything to benefit our people. So one of the things that they do is education. Once a month, they come and they teach people how to eat right, how to actually, people think that eating healthy is going to a expensive supermarket to buy expensive food. Not at all. People can actually eat healthy out of a food pantry food. So their job was to come here and teach them how to get the
Teach those people.
Yes.
Well, what about you?
So what happened was that many of the people that came here don't speak English, and I was a translator. So I will translate to them, teach them how to do the right thing, and I'm like thinking, wait a minute, I don't do this. I should be doing this. I should change my lifestyle. I should stop eating this. I should go this way. From there, I went from 234 to 178. All I did was started eating healthy.
Give us a couple examples of what you stopped eating, what you started eating.
Okay, so my breakfast was a big toasted bagel with cream cheese and jelly and coffee. This was before.
At 234.
Yes, a toasted bagel, cream cheese and jelly, and a large coffee with lots of sugar and cream. I went from that to a banana and a bottle of water. My oatmeal used to have a lot of sugar and milk and all these good stuff, things. Not anymore. Now it's water and just the oatmeal.
By the way, when you say good stuff, you mean tasty stuff.
Yeah, tasty stuff.
And then you went to?
To just plain water and oatmeal. Lots of salads, lots of fruits. One of the things is that after 6 o'clock in the afternoon, I don't eat. More water. I don't do soda anymore. I don't do those funny things anymore. No juices. I'd rather to have one orange than to have, and I got this from them, one orange instead of a glass of orange juice, because there is like 5 or 6 oranges in one glass.
But what does this have to do with diabetes prevention, Carlos?
It's about eating healthy and making sure that if you are pre-diabetic, which is, especially for type 1
Which
diabetes.
you were at that time?
I wasn't healthy. My blood pressure was 160 over 120.
You were a candidate for a problem. Good, I'm sorry, Carlos.
So again, people are making choices based on what's around them or what they can afford. And so our job is to provide food that gives them more options and education that teaches them what that food is and what it can do for them. And when you think of an impact, I mean, Carlos, eating healthy is something we can all do more of. But when you think about folks like myself and like Carlos, who have some choices, and we're still opportunity to make more, could you imagine someone who has very limited choices? Right. How can we help them do more? Sometimes it's as simple as introducing them and giving them the options, and then bundling that with some nutrition education.
How significant is this problem of diabetes, and what happens, I don't want to be negative or pessimistic, if we don't aggressively, assertively deal with it in the way you're doing right now?
Well, this is a multi-pronged approach, right? So what we have here is the fact that Carlos can tell us exactly what's going on with the population here.
At Father English.
This is at Father English. And they can do that because they have a system that we help support them with that can really take information on what's going on with each of the household. So it starts there. What do we know in a quantifiable way about the families, in addition to the intimate relationship he clearly has with them? Then it builds from there. Well, how can we model food distribution in a way that makes sense for what we're seeing in this community, whether it's diabetes or anything else? And then what else can we do with the food, the nutrition education piece, that can bring that to life in a different way? When you bundle those three things together, things that probably we do or we try to do as we shop, we can have an impact on a family's life. And if you look at the way this pantry is set up, it gives not only the dignity of choice, but it's done in a way, this is a healthy pantry model.
A healthy
pantry. So the foods and the point systems that are executed here actually help families learn and make healthier choices in a way that's respectful, dignified, and educational.
Finally, Carlos, I'll give you the last word. This initiative, this diabetes initiative over 3 years, the partnership, it's making this community healthier.
Yes, definitely.
You're confident of that?
Yeah, definitely. Before, I actually had a client that used to feed her kids a can of soda and a bag of potato chips for dinner. And then when she started coming to this food pantry, when we started giving them options, now they can have a good meal. Now they can have different choices, different things. And our community, they're going crazy, trying to work crazy hours, as I mentioned before, just to cover rent. So they don't care much about what they eat as long as they get something to eat. Right. We are giving them the option. You don't have to go spend crazy money. You don't have to go on a diet, special diet. You just have to know how to eat and how to eat healthy out of the food that we have for them here.
Carlos, obviously, you don't need me to tell you that you're doing this, but you're doing important work together. and will continue to deal with the issue of diabetes and diabetes prevention and provide as much education as we can. Thank you, gentlemen.
Well, thank you so very much. Thank you.
State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by the Russell Berry Foundation, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, NJM Insurance Group, New Jersey Sharing Network, the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, Choose New Jersey, Georgian Court University, PNC, Grow Up Great, and by St. Joseph's Health. Promotional support provided by Insider NJ and by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association.